Disney's live-action Snow White is spiraling into controversy with explosive backlash over the trailer, casting decisions, and off-screen drama. Now, director Marc Webb has placed the blame squarely on Rachel Zegler, questioning her statements, casting choice, and potential impact on the film's future. Why is Rachel being singled out? What role did her feud with Gal Gadot play in the fallout? And could Disney have avoided this PR nightmare entirely? Stick around as we break down the shocking twists behind this controversy and uncover the truth Disney doesn't want you to know. Snow White's live-action remake has turned into a lightning rod for controversy instead of the magical revival Disney fans were hoping for. The project, which once stood as one of Disney's most eagerly awaited films, is now mired in criticism and backlash. At the heart of the uproar is Rachel Zegler, the film's lead actress, whose online comments and actions have drawn widespread attention. From questioning the relevance of the original film's themes to openly criticizing her co-star Gal Gadot, Zegler's statements have added fuel to an already heated debate following the release of the movie's trailer. The trailer, promoting the film set for release next spring, has sparked discussions far beyond its visuals or storyline. Issues surrounding race, gender, and politics absent from the 1937 animated classic have now taken center stage. These modern updates to the beloved story have polarized audiences. On one hand, Disney is attempting to make the story more inclusive. On the other, fans argue that the studio is losing touch with the essence that made the original so iconic. One particularly contentious decision is Disney's choice to replace the Seven Dwarfs with CGI characters. While the move seems aimed at avoiding outdated stereotypes, it has left many feeling disheartened. Longtime admirers of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs view this change as eroding the unique charm and personality that defined the original film. Zegler's remarks about the 1937 classic have only added to the tension. She described elements of the original story as creepy and stalker-ish, especially the romantic dynamic between Snow White and Prince Charming. This sentiment has not sat well with fans who hold the original film dear, seeing it as an unnecessary attack on the very legacy Disney seeks to reimagine. For longtime Snow White fans, Rachel Zegler's remarks about the original felt like a direct affront. To them, the heart of the story was its portrayal of loved Snow White dreaming of her true love, eventually rescued by the prince, culminating in the iconic happily ever after. This romantic thread is what many believe defines the story, and reinterpreting or sidelining it feels, to them, like a betrayal of the original's charm and message. Zegler's casting as Snow White has also been a lightning rod for controversy. Some fans question whether she was the right choice for a character described in the Brothers Grimm tale as having skin as white as snow. Her Latina heritage became a point of contention among certain groups, with some critics claiming the casting strayed too far from the character's traditional depiction. Right-wing voices on social media were particularly vocal, framing this as another example of Disney's prioritization of diversity in its casting over staying true to source material. In response to the criticism, Zegler defended her casting with a bold and now deleted tweet. Yes, I am Snow White. No, I am not bleaching my skin for the role. While initially lauded by some for standing her ground, Zegler's subsequent comments about the original movie reignited tensions. Her suggestion to remove the romantic subplot and her remarks about drastically reducing her co-star Gal Gadot's role as the evil queen didn't sit well with audiences. Many felt these changes stripped away the soul of the story, replacing its timeless appeal with unnecessary modern reinterpretations. Instead of building excitement for the remake, these updates have left a significant portion of fans feeling alienated, concerned that the film is losing its essence in an attempt to cater to contemporary sensibilities. Some fans feel that the reimagining of Snow White as a strong, independent leader diminishes the core qualities that made the character so relatable and beloved to audiences for generations. One fan expressed the sentiment that not every woman aspires to leadership or craves power, and that this approach to Snow White is alienating. The fan said, "Not every woman is a leader. Not every woman wants to be a leader. Not every woman wants to be a leader. Not every woman craves power, and that's okay." For many, this new narrative seems out of place, pushing a message that doesn't resonate with everyone and feels disconnected from the original story's charm. Another fan added, "Just because a woman values something different like love or kindness doesn't make her any less valuable." This perspective highlights a key tension in the remake: the struggle to modernize the story while preserving the essence of what made Snow White. For decades, Snow White's innocence, kindness, and desire for love were central to her character, and these qualities resonated deeply with viewers. But as Disney attempts to introduce a more empowered Snow White, some worry that the changes undermine what made the character truly special. As the film's release draws nearer, it remains uncertain whether Disney can find a way to balance the updates for a contemporary audience with the core values that made the original Snow White a beloved classic. The backlash continues to grow, with many feeling that such radical changes to a nearly century-old story are unnecessary. After all, the original film has stood the test of time, still holding a cherished place in the hearts of many fans. One particularly pointed critique came from a user who questioned the motivation behind the remake, asking, "If you hate the original this much, why would you want to make the remake?" This comment echoes the frustration of many who feel that the reimagined version is straying too far from the beloved classic. Unfortunately, the controversy doesn't end there. Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen, has also found herself embroiled in the drama. Tensions between her and Zegler reached a boiling point when the two publicly clashed over their differing views on the direction of the film. Their disagreements played out on social media, further fueling the fire and intensifying the divide among fans. This clash between the two lead actresses has only added to the growing polarization surrounding the film, with some fans now calling for a boycott of the remake in support of their own views on the changes made. The off-screen drama between Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot has overshadowed the movie, making it difficult for audiences to separate the real-life conflict from the on-screen fantasy. This distraction has become a major problem for the film's promotion. Branding expert Carlos Spike commented on how this ongoing feud has negatively impacted the film's marketing efforts. He pointed out that Disney should be focusing on building excitement for the movie, especially at this crucial moment in the lead-up to its release, but instead they're consumed with managing a public dispute between two of their lead actresses. Spite also suggested that the situation must be especially frustrating for Disney's producers, as they likely never anticipated this level of drama overshadowing the film's production. With the PR team now forced to handle the fallout from the feud, it has become harder for Disney to direct attention toward the film's potential and create buzz. Adding to the pressure, the film has already faced delays, which has fueled skepticism among fans about its quality and success. Even though the official trailer for Snow White has been released, the controversies surrounding it have only intensified. Many are still unconvinced, as the production seems to be entangled in one PR disaster after another. Disney initially cited the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strikes as the reason for the delays, but rumors suggest that the real reason might be the backlash stemming from Rachel Zegler's comments and the overall creative direction of the film. These controversies might have prompted the studio to reshoot certain scenes in an attempt to salvage the film's image. The situation became even more complicated when actor Peter Dinklage voiced his criticism about the film's portrayal of the dwarves. As an advocate for people with dwarfism, Dinklage expressed his frustration with how the classic character of the dwarves was being reinterpreted in the remake. However, his comments sparked a backlash within the dwarfism community itself. WWE wrestler and actor Dylan Posel, known as Hornswoggle, disagreed with Dinklage's stance, arguing that his criticism actually resulted in the loss of opportunities for actors with dwarfism to play roles that could have offered more meaningful representation. This clash within the community itself added another layer of complexity to the ongoing debates about the film, with some fans supporting Dinklage's call for sensitivity and others feeling that his comments unintentionally led to fewer roles for people with dwarfism in Hollywood. In response to growing criticism, Disney made changes to the Snow White remake, replacing the traditional dwarves with CGI magical creatures. However, this decision only contributed to the film's mounting delays and increased dissatisfaction among fans. Many felt that Disney was deviating too far from the essence of the original story, which only deepened their frustrations. As the movie's release approaches, it remains unclear whether Disney will be able to turn things around, or if this remake will become one of the studio's most controversial and divisive projects. The shift from traditional dwarves to CGI characters has left many fans upset. The initial magical creatures introduced were quickly replaced with CGI dwarves, but these characters were met with criticism due to their odd, somewhat eerie appearance in the trailer. Fans expressed concerns that the use of CGI was making the dwarves seem unnatural, detracting from the charm and authenticity of the original characters. Beyond the CGI issues, the trailer seemed to highlight other concerns, such as the film's drastic departure from the traditional elements that made Snow White a timeless classic. Further fueling the drama, Rachel Zegler sparked more controversy with a tweet she posted after the trailer was released. She seemed to take a subtle jab at her co-star Gal Gadot, adding fuel to the ongoing tension between the two actresses. The tweet became a lightning rod for debate, as it came across as an indirect criticism of Gadot's public stance on her country's ongoing conflict. This public rift between Zegler and Gadot raised questions about the dynamics of the movie's production and how well the two would be able to collaborate on such a high-profile project. Gadot, who has been vocal about her support for her home country, has made headlines for her stance during the ongoing geopolitical situation. Last November, she organized a special screening of Bearing Witness, a 47-minute documentary that offered a perspective on the conflict, further intensifying the divide between her and Zegler. The public feud between the two actresses has added layers of complexity to the film's promotional efforts, turning what was once an eagerly awaited Disney remake into a source of constant controversy. The controversy surrounding the Snow White remake deepened when Gal Gadot's screening of Bearing Witness was criticized by Palestinian supporters who labeled it as propaganda. Although Gadot did not respond to these allegations, the situation became more tense when Rachel Zegler posted a pointed comment seemingly expressing frustration about working with Gal. This implied tension between the two actresses quickly escalated when Gal's Twitter account retweeted a post criticizing Rachel's stance, which said, "Trying to campaign on the head of your co-star who actually lives through just so you'll look cooler with the kids is really pathetic." Although this tweet was deleted shortly after the damage was done, and it further fueled the ongoing feud between Zegler and Gadot. Branding expert Carlos Spite weighed in on the situation, stating that this public disagreement between the two could cause significant harm not only to Disney but also to the careers of both actresses. He pointed out that individuals in the public eye, especially those associated with major films, should remain neutral on sensitive issues, particularly when a high-profile project is about to be released. While both actresses are entitled to their own views, Spite argued that sharing them publicly, especially in such a divisive manner, could backfire. The conflict, he noted, could lead to backlash from fans on both sides of the political spectrum, ultimately damaging their careers. As the Zegler-Gadot drama unfolded, it shifted focus from the movie to their personal political views, creating a PR disaster for Disney. With tensions growing between the two stars, the fate of Snow White has become uncertain, and its ability to capture the audience's attention is being overshadowed by the off-screen drama. Fans are now faced with a dilemma, as the ongoing feud threatens to overshadow the magic of the live-action adaptation. This is further compounded by calls from some fans to boycott the film, largely due to Gal Gadot's involvement with her political views causing division among the movie's potential audience. The controversy surrounding Snow White continues to escalate, particularly due to Rachel Zegler's vocal support for the Palestinian cause and Gal Gadot's involvement, which has intensified calls for a boycott. While some fans have clarified that their issue is with Gadot and not Zegler, the divide between the two actresses' political views has overshadowed the movie's release. One fan expressed boycotting Snow White, but not in an anti-Rachel way, just in an anti-Gal Gadot way. "It sucks because I actually want to hear Rachel sing." The growing sentiment online calls for a boycott of the film, with many fans pointing out Gadot's political stance as the main reason. Comments like "the live-action Snow White looks horrible," starring Zionist Gal Gadot, "boycott, boycott, boycott" continue to dominate discussions on social media. The backlash surrounding Gadot's participation has raised serious concerns about the film's success at the box office, as fans express their discontent not just with the storyline changes but also with the involvement of the two actresses. Amid all of this, Rachel Zegler has remained notably silent, leaving fans to wonder whether her earlier comments contributed to the worsening controversy. Some are questioning if a different casting choice might have avoided the tensions that have so heavily impacted the film's reception. Could a different Snow White and Evil Queen have saved Disney from this PR nightmare? What do you think? Would a different casting choice have helped avoid all the drama? Or do you think Disney should have stuck to their guns with Zegler and Gadot? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're looking for more updates on the latest entertainment news, be sure to check out the other videos right here on Movie Saga. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for all the latest content.